So in the market, we have different databases, right? Yes. Maybe you might have heard about these databases. So we have Oracle SQL Server, so Teradata, I have PostgreSQL, okay, so MySQL, Netezza. So these are the different databases that are available in the current market. Okay. And even people who are working on these databases for the past, let's say, close to like 15 years or the past 10 years, right? So even they are moving towards Snowflake. So the people who wants to start their career, they're not learning these legacy technologies. So I can say these are all legacy technologies. They're not learning this. They are moving towards Snowflake. Okay. So we'll try to understand what are the advantages we have and what are the different features that this database is offering. Snowflake is a database, guys. You can compare with the existing databases. So we'll try to understand what is a database. So any idea, guys, what is a database? So basically, let's take an example. Let's say we have HDFC Bank. So they're running the business from past, let's say, close to like 20 years. So they have like a number of customers. Let's assume they have 1 million customers. I'm just taking an example. They have like 1 million customers. To store the information, they need a database. So the bank is offering different services, guys. Like they're into insurance, banking, loans. You're able to hear me, right, guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, sir, yes.
Yes, just for the 5 minutes, okay? Just the basics. Then I'll move to Snowflake. So this bank is offering different services like insurance, banking, and loans. Okay, and even if you look at the branches, right? So banking is a separate branch. Okay, insurance is a separate branch. Loans is a separate branch. So why they have like segregated into different branches? Guys, not all the services into one branch.
Each may have different features or something like that.
Exactly. So the customer who comes for the banking, right? They may he may not he or she may not interested in taking a insurance or a loan. Okay. Later, the booking officer or a referring officer, right? They can request the customer to take the loans once he's a customer at the bank, right? So they'll offer take credit card, take health insurance, right? So they can refer that. But so the point is, since they have separated the business into different branches, to store the customer information, we need a database. So the point is, database will have different schemas. Okay, schema one will be responsible for information, insurance information, and schema two is for banking, and schema three is for loans. So the point is, database will have different schemas, and what schema will contain? Schema will contain different objects. Guys. Okay, so when I say object, right? So let me just show you this. So let's look at this. This is a tabular information, right? So this is one format of the data, guys. Okay. So this is the tabular format. So how many rows we have? How many rows? This is called as a row, guys. Okay. So we have close to 5 rows, right? So we have 5 rows, and these are all columns. And there is one more term that you need to understand, that is data type. What is a data type, guys? So in the first column, I am storing numeric information, right? This is the numeric information. In the second column, I'm storing character information. Third column, it's a character. What about the fourth column? It's a date information, guys. Okay. So data type is nothing but the type of information which we are storing in a column. So we have number, varchar, date. These are all the different data types, guys. For numeric information, we have number. For character, that's varchar. For date information, we have date. Okay, so now we understood database will have schema, schema will have object. One of the object is table. So a table will have rows and columns, and we have different data types. And there is one more term that you need to understand, that is called on-premise. So what do you mean by on-premise, guys? On-premise. So I'm just trying to talk about the difference between on-premise versus cloud. So what is a on-premise and what is a cloud? I think now
On-premise,
you are hearing a cloud, right? Yeah. Yeah.
is it audible?
Yes, yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, you're audible.
On-premise is the system which we are working and storing data in our local machine.
Yeah,
By
exactly.
connecting LAN 4 or 5 systems, we are working in
Right. Yes,
on
you're
spot.
right.
It's
You're
premise.
right. Yeah. So when I say on premise, so you have to purchase the server and you have to download, you have to install, you have to configure, and you have to upgrade. Okay. So everything will be taken care by the respective business owner. Okay. Okay. So let me talk about the on-premise features. Okay. So let's say we have let's say Prasad. He wants to start a business. Let's say he wants to start a supermarket. Okay. Let's take a supermarket. So to start this business, so first of all, he needs to like purchase the different servers, right? He needs to purchase a server, okay, the software. Let's say initially the software he is purchasing. Let's say S1 is the software. Let's assume e-commerce software, and the server capacity is 1 terabyte and 32 GB RAM. He started the business, and 24/7 the server should be up and running, right? So let's say you have customers from morning, let's say 9 a.m. to let's say evening 5 p.m. Okay. So after that, can you shut down the servers? Can I shut down the servers? No, right? Some customers may place order through online, right? So here the point is, in case of on-premise, whether you have the customers or not, you have to maintain the servers for 24/7. So there is a lot of electricity. Okay, so there is a maintenance cost is there. And one more point is, let's say initially the software is S1, later there is a new version came into the market, let's say S2. So you need to upgrade, right? You need to upgrade to the latest version. So the point is here, in each and every step, there is a lot of cost involved, and you have to take care of that. Okay, so let's say you have started the business. Okay, so initially you have close to let's say uh, 20 customers, and let's say after 2 months you have close to 1,000 customers. Okay, 1,000 customers, which means your business is growing, right? From 22 you have 1,000 employees, 1,000 customers. So your business is growing. So your initial server capacity is 1 terabyte and 32 GB RAM. Let's say the customers are reporting that whenever they are accessing through online, right, the site is very slow and it is not responding. So what you need to do? You need to do the scale up. What do you mean by scale up? You are increasing the existing server capacity from 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte and 32 GB RAM to 64 GB RAM. This is called scale up. The term which you need to understand is, in case of on-premise, as a business owner, you have to take care of all these things. And there is a cost for each and every step. And when I say scale up, you are increasing the server capacity from lower to higher. Okay, so let's take the other way. You have 20 customers, and after 2 months, you have only 10 customers, which means your business is not growing. Now, is there any point in maintaining this much of capacity? So, what you're trying to do, you're trying to scale down. So, when I say scale down, you're reducing the resources. That is called scale down, guys. Now, let's talk about cloud. So, I'll just name the major cloud providers in the current market. So, we have AWS, Azure, and GCP. So, what exactly these cloud providers will do? So let's say in the current requirement, instead of setting the environment, okay, like on his own, what Prasad is trying to do, he's trying to approach the cloud providers. Okay, so he is giving the requirement. Hey, this is the capacity that I need. So can you prepare the environment? So okay, you no need to do anything. You just approach the cloud provider and give the specification. They will take care of preparing the environment. Okay, what they will do, they'll share you one URL with username and password. Okay, then you can access the environment that you requested for. Okay, so in this case, what is the advantage that you're getting? You're not purchasing the software hardware, you're not doing the maintenance activities. Okay, everything will be taken care by the respective cloud provider. Nowadays you are hearing a lot of startup companies, right guys? Okay, you know what these startups will do? So they'll approach these cloud providers for the environment setup. Okay, so it's just like a plug and play, guys. Okay, you no need to worry about the infra. Okay, they will take care of that. So they will give you different services. Guys, maybe you might have heard about this: platform as a service, software as a service, database as a service, infrastructure as a service. So these are all the different services that the different cloud providers will provide. So you can take an example of Gmail. Yes. So in Gmail, you no need to do anything, right? You need to have a like the URL with the username and password, so that you can access the like the Gmail where you can upload, you can send the emails. Okay. So that is one of the example. Now you're clear, right? The difference between on-premise and cloud, right?
Yes.
Sir,
Right. Now,
one more doubt.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, in on-premises, why do you need to scale down? Because we already purchased the server, right? So why need to scale down?
Yes, yes, yeah, that's what. In case of the question is, in case of on-premise, if your business is not growing, why do we need to scale down, right? See, because the point is, so the server capacity is more, right? Okay. See, it's up to you. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to give you the example. What is the scale up and scale down? Okay. Even if you want to maintain that, right, you can use the environment. Okay. But when you compare with the like lower infrastructure, right? I mean the lower capacity, so the price may reduce actually. So that's the point here. Okay, just remember, like scale up is nothing but increasing the services. Scale down means you are reducing the services.
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, now one more term that you need to understand before jumping into Snowflake. You need to understand the different types of data, guys. Okay, so the data can be in the form of structured format or a semi-structured format. Okay, you can have unstructured also. Okay, unstructured. So when I say unstructured, you can take an example of your images, okay, PDFs, right? When I say structured format, so this is one of the structured format, guys. Can you see here? So this is a tabular format, okay? This is a structured format. Now CSV format. When I say CSV, is let me open this slide. Okay, look at this, guys. This is the information about some customers. Okay, can you see the file name cust_info.csv? Okay, the extension is CSV. It's a comma separated value. So this is one format of the data, guys. Okay, so you have ID, first name, last name, email address, area, locality, cities. So in a file, they are giving you the customer information. So the point is you need to load this data into the table. And one more important point is, if you take any database, guys, any database in the market, I'm just talking about these databases, any database, the data will be stored in the form of table. Any database, okay? It will be in the table. Okay, except these big data technologies like Spark and all, okay? So that is file format. Now it's a table format. Any database, the data will be stored in the tabular format. So ultimately, whatever may be the format of the data, you have to store that into the table. So this is one of the format. Now, can you see the format, guys? What is this format? It's a JSON. So they are giving you some credit card information. Okay. So they have extracted some of the customers' information. So these are all the different credit card numbers. Okay. Even I can show you a few more examples. Let's take JSON. Okay. So let's take this. So this is about the car information. So they are giving the customers who purchase the cars. Okay, one Rohit. Okay, he purchased Mercedes Benz of C class in the year 2021. Okay. Now there is one more format. So the data can be in XML format. Let's take this. So like they are giving you some books information, book 101, 102. Okay. So XML developer. Okay. So this is about the what is this? There are different categories of books. The books which are related to computer, fantasy, okay, and yeah, there are different categories of books. Okay. Now the point is how you are going to load this data. Okay, and there is one more format. Can you see, guys, here? Can you see the extension? What is this? Parquet, right? Parquet. So this is not a readable format. Okay. Okay. So these are all the different formats of the data. Okay. Okay, whatever may be the format of the data, we can load that into Snowflake. Now let's talk about Snowflake. What is the need for us to learn Snowflake? And before that, So what is the main purpose of this data centers, guys? So I just talked about data centers, right? AWS, Azure, and GCP. I think recently in Vizag, Google data center is coming, right? Right. So what these data centers will do exactly? Okay. So these data centers, right? So they will the first thing is they will store the data. So they'll they will give you different services, guys. Okay. Let's say if you need a database, okay, they'll provide the database. If you need a software, they'll provide the software. If you need an infrastructure, they'll take care of preparing the infrastructure. Okay. You no need to do anything. Everything will be taken care by the cloud providers. Even in Hyderabad, Gachibowli, we have Amazon data center. I think you might have know this. People from Hyderabad, you know this, right, guys? So we have data centers, right? Now, I'll give you one more example. Let's say I'll take one of your name, guys. Let's say, so I'll take Sharath. Okay. Let's say Sharath developed a software. Let's take Sharath. He developed a software, guys. Okay. Now he wants to bring that to the public. What are the ways that he can bring to the public, guys?
By making it online or something.
Exactly. So the point is, first of all, he needs to do the marketing, right? He needs to like hire one of the data, digital marketing guy, and he needs to do the promotions. That is one way. And the other way is, instead he doing the marketing, what he can do, he can approach these cloud provider and he can explain about his product. Hey, this is my product, and this will do like it has different features, and it will support different needs of the like topmost data engineering companies. Okay, he can promote his product and he can sell this to, or he can take the request of these cloud providers to to promote the product. Okay, so the thing is here, the person who developed the software and the persons who are promoting the product, okay, both will be benefited. Okay, so the here what is the benefit that Sharath is getting? He no need to do anything. He will just give the software to these people. They will take care of promoting the product, because these cloud providers, they have like n number of customers. Okay, so they can promote the product easily. Okay, so similarly, Snowflake. Let's assume Sharad developed a software called Snowflake. Okay, see, basically Snowflake is a database which is developed on the cloud. Okay, the point is they don't have their own data center. Okay, so that is the reason Snowflake is depending upon these three cloud providers. Currently, if you need Snowflake, you need to approach. I mean to say, these are the three cloud providers who are supporting Snowflake. So that is the reason. If you look at this slide, right? Okay. So currently, Snowflake is supported by three major cloud providers or three major data centers. That is AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay. And there are different regions, guys. Okay, in North America, Europe, Asia Pacific. Okay, there are different regions where Snowflake is available. So if you want to understand this, let me just go to snowflake.com. If we go to snowflake.com, right? So as I already told you, there are three major cloud providers who are supporting Snowflake. So if you go to the pricing, right, just click on this pricing. Okay, so what is the platform? Which means platform is nothing but the data will reside in this cloud actually. Okay, so AWS, Azure, or GCP. Okay, so let's say I'm in Asia Pacific. Do you see anything called Mumbai over here, guys? Asia Pacific, Mumbai.
Yes, sir.
Where is that? Yeah, Mumbai. Okay, let's assume we are in India and we are in Mumbai. So if I want to choose AWS, so what is the standard, enterprise, and business critical? Let's assume this is these are all different editions, guys. Okay, standard edition, enterprise, and business critical. So the point is, look at the cost. They're charging $4, $3, and $2. So the point is, just try to understand what are the factors that influence the cost. So let's say if I choose to Singapore, how much they are charging? The price is changed, right? $5, $3.7, right? And let's say if I change the cloud provider, let's move to Azure. Okay, let's say my region is Singapore, $5, 3.7. And let's say if I move to GCP, let's say the region is London. See, $5.4, $4, and $2.7. So the point is, the price will vary depending upon three factors. What are those? Platform. The platform can be AWS, Azure, or GCP. Region. What is the nearest data center? Okay. What is your nearest data center region? Okay. Let's say maybe in future, let's say if you are working from India and let's say Vizag is near to you, that is your nearest data center. They will charge you very less price. Okay. Because the data transfer, the storage, it's nearer, right? So I'm just trying to give a simple example, guys. Okay. So the point is the price will vary depending upon the platform, region, and the edition. We'll talk about these editions, guys. Let's assume this is, let's say when you're purchasing a car, right? Let's assume this is your base variant. Okay. This is your mid variant and high variant. Generally, people go with high variant because they'll get all the features of the car. Okay. Anyways, I will come back to this. Now let's try to understand why Snowflake, why we are learning Snowflake. Okay. So, see, actually, I started my career, guys. So I'm a so I started my career with Oracle, guys. So I'm a Oracle certified in 2011, actually. Okay. So I worked on different databases. Okay. So I worked on close to like around 7 databases. I worked on Oracle, SQL Server. Okay. Most of the databases I worked on. Okay. So after that, I have done my Azure certification, and recently I have done my Oracle GenAI certification and also the Snowflake certification. Anyways, I'll come back to this. I'll show you how to. I mean, when we are going to discuss about different certifications, I'll come back to that. So the reason is people who are having experience of, let's say, 10 years, 15 years, or they want to start their career, they're learning Snowflake. Even the companies who are maintaining their databases from long time, they are migrating towards Snowflake. Okay. They're migrating towards Snowflake. Why? What is the reason for that? Okay. So the main reason is, so basically Snowflake is a database and which sits on the cloud. Okay. It's a cloud data warehouse. Okay. When I say database and data warehouse, just for the timing, assume like both are same. I'll give the differences. Okay. Now you have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. What do you mean by that? You have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. Okay. So in case of on-premise, I think earlier we talked about one example, right? In case of on-premise, let's say if I have customers from morning 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, 9 to 5, right? Okay. After that, I cannot shut down my servers, right? Even though, I mean, whether I have customers or not, I am not supposed to shut down the servers. I have to pay the cost. But in case of cloud, you have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. So with respect to Snowflake, right? Snowflake is minimum is 1 minute, guys. Okay, minimum is 1 minute. So after 1 minute, they'll charge you per second. So let's say if I use it for less 2 minutes, 5 seconds, I have to pay only for that. Okay. So that is about the, you have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. The storage services are flexible. Whenever you want, you can scale up and scale down. Okay. So it supports most of the formats of the data. Like we have seen it, how the XML, JSON, okay, Parquet will look like it. So this is about the Parquet format, which is not readable. This is a JSON format. This is a CSV format, and this is also a JSON. And this is XML format. Okay, whatever maybe the format of the data, you can load that into Snowflake. And the major advantage is integration. What is the general meaning of integration, guys?
To accommodate with different
Exactly, right? So let's say I'm working on let's say I'm working on, let's say, Java. Okay. So from Java, okay, let's say if I want to connect to a database, okay, with the minimal settings, I'm supposed to connect to the database. Let's say if you have like different configuration with complex configuration, that is not a what to say, convenient way, right? Okay. So when I say integration, so with the minimal settings and with minimal configuration, how you're going to connect to the different technologies, that is called integration. Okay. So the major advantage is it has integration with the different cloud providers like Microsoft Azure, Amazon, and GCP. Anyways, so we're going to talk about that, guys. I'll just list the things that we're going to talk about in the like coming sessions. So we're going to talk about creating the accounts with Microsoft Azure, Amazon, and GCP. And we're going to talk about different services, guys. I'll just list the services. So in Amazon, we're going to talk about creation of buckets, okay, users, roles, and AWS glue jobs, okay, glue jobs. So with respect to Azure, I'll show you how to create the accounts and how to load the accounts. Even we'll create accounts with all these three clouds. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to talk about that. Now, one more major advantage is integration with the ETL and reporting tools. So when I say ETL and reporting is, have you heard about Informatica, Data Stage, SSIS, Talent? These are all ETL tools, guys. Okay. And reporting, when I say reporting, you have Cognos, correct? You have Power BI, OBIE, and you have what is it? There is one more reporting tool is there, but nowadays Power BI is more popular, guys. So people are using Power BI. Okay, so the point is from Snowflake you can easily interact with ETL and reporting tool. So with respect to ETL and reporting, right, what we are going to do is, so as part of ETL, right, guys, we're going to talk about IICS, Informatica Intelligent Cloud Service. I'll take close to 5 examples on this IACS. And when it comes to reporting, we're going to talk about Power BI. Okay. So we'll see like close to like 2 or 3 examples on Power BI. So the reason why I'm telling you is, let's say you say like if you're a Snowflake developer, they'll ask you what are the different technologies and tools that you're using in your current project. Okay. Anyways, I'll come back to this. Integrations with Python. Okay. So you can easily integrate with Python. Okay. Let's say when I say Python, you can take any environment, guys. Like some people will use Visual Studio, right? Anyways, we are going to talk about these tools. We'll install Visual Studio and we'll install Anaconda. We'll install PyCharm. Okay. Anyways, SQL developer. So these are all the different tools, guys, that we're going to install. So why we need to install these tools? Okay, so we're going to talk about Python. I'll give you like close to 10 examples on Python, on the real-time examples on why we need to use Python with respect to Snowflake. Okay, and these are the different tools that we're going to install. Now, when it comes to ETL, right, we are going to talk about IACS. And when it comes to ELT, have you heard about this term called ELT, guys, anytime? Anyways, I'll explain that, but we're going to talk about DBT. Yeah,
Expect
exactly.
load transformation.
Loading and transformation. Okay, we're going to talk about DBT, guys. Okay, data is a data build tool. The abbreviation is data build tool. So we're going to talk about this. So this will be close to like 10 sessions. Okay, now the major focus will be on Snowflake. This will be close to like 20 sessions, guys. Okay, 20 to 25 sessions. Okay, right.
Krishna, sorry to interrupt you in between. Ms. Bindu,
Yeah.
so you said with ETL tool, it is IICS, which is nothing but Informatica tool, if I'm right.
Right. Yes.
So it would be the same if you integrate it with data stage like IBM InfoSphere data
Yes.
stage.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, when it comes to ETL, right, guys? So we have different tools in the market. Okay, you can use
Yes.
Data Stage, Informatica, Talent. Okay, you can use different tools.
The process could be the same, right?
Yes. The process is same. Yes. Across when I say ETL, if you use any tool, the process will be same. Okay. So yeah, sure. Yeah. So the point is, the major advantages with integration, and also it has its own features, guys. Okay. Anyways, we're going to talk about that. Right. So this is what I have highlighted. Maybe if you can look at this slide, can you see here? Snowflake is sitting in the middle, and can you see the arrow marks? So it can easily interact with the ETL tools like Informatica, DBT, Talent. These are all ETL tools. Okay, so you can send the data and you can get the data to Snowflake, and these are all the different integration tools. Okay, so like from these tools you can get the data to Snowflake, and you can easily interact with the big data tools. Okay, you can read the file, you can load it as a table, and finally the data can be consumed by the reporting layer. Okay. So this is one of the slides which explains in detail about the integration with respect to ETL reporting. Okay. And it has integration with these different clouds. Okay, so this is Snowflake. You can easily interact with S3, Azure, and GCP. Okay, and also the Python, guys. Okay, this is what I have explained. And before learning any technology, first of all, you should understand the architecture of the technology actually. Okay, now let's talk about the architecture. Okay. So we have three boxes, right? Let's say three layers. Okay, database layer, query processing layer, and cloud services layer. Okay, I'll put it with a simple example. So let us say you have external hard disk. You are using your external hard disk. So in your external hard disk, let's say which is a 1 terabyte, you're having different files, okay, images, videos, okay. You have different files here, okay. Now, if I want to play the content or if I want to read the content from this, I need to connect this to a laptop, right? So let's assume you have three different computers, one with 4 GB RAM, the other one with 8 GB RAM. There is one more computer with 16 GB RAM. So we all know, right? If I connect my external hard disk to a computer which is having higher RAM, I'll get better performance. So when I say better performance with respect to, I mean, what is the perspective actually? In which terms you are going to get the better performance?
Configuration wise.
In terms of read and write, guys, correct? When I say read, which means if I want to watch a video from the external hard disk, if the RAM size is more, I can read the content within seconds, right? Correct. If the, let's say the RAM size is very slow, okay, I mean, let's assume 4 GB. When I compare with 4G versus 16 GB, so 16 GB will give you a better performance, right? So the read performance will be improved. What do you mean by write? Let's say I have prepared a presentation in my laptop and I want to save that to external hard disk, okay. So that is called writing this. So the important point is, in case of like reading and writing, so the RAM will help you, okay. So when it's external hard disk, this will store the data. But what is the main purpose of the RAM? It is to read and write. Now let's apply the same logic to the Snowflake architecture. So we have database layer. Let's just for the timing assume like this is your external hard disk. These are all three different computers. One is with 4 GB, 8 GB, and 16 GB RAM. So the main purpose of the database is to store the data like external hard disk. Now just remove the keyword RAM and put virtual warehouse just for the timing. Remember, assume like RAM and virtual warehouse both are same. Okay. Now the main purpose of the virtual warehouse is to what? Is to read and write. So with respect to database point of view, what do you mean by read, guys? Anyone? Select, right? Write means
Insert.
insert, update,
Alteration.
and delete. Okay. So
Alteration of
yes,
data. Update.
right. So these are all read and write operations with respect to database. Now, if I want to read the data from my database, I need a virtual warehouse. I want to write some data. I wanted to update some customer information. Okay. Let's say I wanted to onboard a new customer. Okay. So I need to write the data. So the important point is, without the help of virtual warehouse, you cannot perform read, I mean, this is select and insert, update, delete operations. Okay. So on a simple lines, database layer will be responsible for storing the data. Your query processing layer will be responsible for reading and writing by using virtual warehouse. Anyways, cloud services layer, I'll come back to this. Okay. So after one more point is, let me switch to snowflake.com. I'll try to create an account, guys. So this is very simple, like a Gmail account. There is an option start for free. Click on this. So the only thing is you need to use a Gmail. Let me open that. I just opened one of the account, guys. Let me switch to just a second. Yeah, I'll go with this GCP Krishna. Okay. So I'll use this email address to create Snowflake account. This is as simple as creating a Gmail account. Let me give the first name and last name. You need to provide the email address. What is the reason for signing up? Okay. So I would like to complete my training and certification. Training or certification. So when I say training and certification, I guess, So if you go to this particular what to say URL, I'll share this URL with you. Whenever you are planning to write the certification, right, just let me go to the login page. Let me log in. So if you go to the schedule and manage exams, right, click on this, manage my exams. Just scroll down. So these are all the different certifications that you can do, guys. You can be a Snow Pro Core Advanced, okay, architect, data analyst, data scientist, okay, and you can be of security data engineer, okay, and you have some advanced certifications. Can you see here, Gen AI certification, okay? Nowadays, most of the people are hearing, right? So Gen AI, right? Even your managers and your leads will insist you to like use the tools, Gen AI tools like ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, Gemini, okay, to leverage your work, correct? And there is one more certification called Snowpark certification. So there are different certifications, guys. Anyways, we'll talk about that. So when it comes to my certifications, I'm a Snow Pro certified. So this is the certification. So can you see here, Snow Pro Core certification? Okay. So it will cost you like 14,000 plus taxes. Okay. So whenever like you are planning, okay, you can do that. Anyways, I'll help you on that. But at the end, right, I'll explain about all these details. So the reason for signing up is training and certification. Let me click on continue. And we discussed one point, right? What are the factors that influence the cost, guys? Anyone? What are the three
Platform,
factors? Yeah. What are the three factors?
platform
Platform,
region,
region,
and
and the edition. Edition. Okay. Let's assume this is when you are purchasing a car. This is a base variant, mid variant, and high variant. Right. Now, so when you are registering, also it is asking you the same thing. Who is your cloud provider? I'll go with AWS. Okay. So there won't be any difference, guys. If we choose any other cloud, it's up to you. Whatever the cloud provider that you wanted to choose, you can choose that. I'll go with AWS. What is the region? Okay, let it be Asia Pacific. See, and there is one more thing. Choose your Snowflake edition. So I'll go with the business critical. So this is your standard edition, enterprise, and business critical. What are these editions exactly? So there is a slide which explains the different features of the editions. Okay, yeah. Look at this slide. Standard, enterprise, and business critical. So when I say standard, okay, it has its own features, guys. Okay. Anyway, this is too early to talk about the features, but let's assume standard means, oh, let's say Snowflake has given 100 features. Out of 100 features, if we go with standard, you'll get only 70 percentage, enterprise 80 percentage, business critical, all the 100 features. Okay, so I'll go with business critical. I wanted to explore all the features given by Snowflake. Let's click on get started. Anyways, this step is not required. You can skip this step. Even this is also you can skip. They're just trying to take the feedback from you. So I just created one account with Snowflake. Let me, if you switch to your Gmail, right, you will get one verification email. Okay. So one activation email. It will take a minute, guys. So meanwhile, we'll talk about what is a data engineer. So once you learn this course, right, you will become a data engineer actually. Okay. So what is a data engineer? I think you have different things that you have AWS data engineer. Okay. So Azure data engineer, correct? I think these are the different terms that you're hearing, right? So you can become a AWS data engineer, Azure or GCP data engineer, or you can become a Snowflake data engineer. Okay. So this is with respect to AWS, Azure, and GCP. With respect to Snowflake also, you can become a data engineer. But what is this term data engineer? Okay. Let's say if I'm calling, let's say Sharath as a data engineer, okay. So he should know something, okay. he should know about one database, one cloud, one scripting, one ETL, and one reporting. The person who is having idea on all these platforms or all these groups, okay, user groups, okay, we'll call that person as a data engineer. So as part of database, so we are going to talk about Snowflake. So as part of the cloud, the major focus will be on AWS, guys. Okay. So we're going to talk about AWS, Azure, and GCP. Anyways, I'll show you how to create the accounts with the different clouds. We're going to talk about that. So with respect to scripting, okay, earlier days we will use Unix. Now most of the people they are using with they're going with Python. Okay. So with respect to ETL, we're going to talk about DBT and Informatica. Not completely, guys. I'll just give you some overview on this. But DBT, we're going to talk about completely. With respect to reporting, so we're going to see a couple of examples on Power BI. Okay. So the point is how you are getting the data, how you are transforming that, and how you are making available to the end user. Okay. So this is called a data engineer role, guys. Let me just check the email. So sometimes it may go to spam also.
These days it's taking a lot of time, sir.
Correct, yeah. Okay, yes, and meanwhile, I just want to tell you one more thing. Maybe if you get it time right. So can you see this, guys? Build Bangalore. Okay, build Bangalore. What is this build Bangalore actually? Okay. So on 6th of December, Snowflake is conducting events across the globe, guys. Okay, they are promoting their product. You don't believe Snowflake has like n number of opportunities. Okay, so what exactly they are going to talk about? Okay, so there is in December 6th there is an event in Bangalore. Maybe if you want, you can register. I'll just share the URL with you. And December 13th there is an event in Pune, guys. Okay, maybe I already registered. Let me just show you that. Just a second. So what exactly they're going to talk about here? Okay, so Snowflake is coming up with different features, guys. Okay, yes, this is build Bangalore. Okay, thank you for your interest. This is with respect to Bangalore, and there is one more event, Snowflake. Can you see build Pune? Yeah, this one. Okay. So they are conducting a event on 13th December at Marriott Hotel, okay, in Pune. Okay, so see this guys, they'll conduct this event the whole day. They're going to talk about their different products. Anyways, I'm going to talk about that. Just give me some time. Okay. I'll share the URL. So maybe if you are interested, just you can register for that. Yes, can you see the message, guys? Activate your Snowflake account. So click on this, activate your Snowflake account, and this is your URL. So anyways, we're going to use the same URL for the next 30 sessions. So this is the URL, and there is an option to activate. Click on this activate button. So it is asking you to choose the username and password like Gmail. So I'll just go with Krishna. That is the username. And the password should be 14 characters, guys. Okay, so I hope this is 14 characters. Yes, this is 14 characters. Okay, let me select the username as Krishna. Password. Let's get started. Right. Okay, so welcome to Snowflake. Anyways, you can skip this step. So you are able to see one page, right? So this is called user interface. Okay. When I say user interface, Snowflake has given a name for it, guys. Okay. So the name of the UI which you are currently seeing is called Snow Site. Okay. So the URL which you are currently seeing is called Snow Site. Now let's try to compare with the Snowflake architecture. So in the Snowflake architecture, I have given you three different components, right? We have database layer, right? Query processing layer and cloud service layer. When I say database, so there is an option, guys. Can you see here? Create, correct? There is an option, create SQL file. Okay, let me open the SQL file. So once you create an account with Snowflake, right, they will give you some sample databases. Okay, at the left hand side, can you see Database Explorer? You have Snowflake, Snowflake Learning DB, Snowflake Sample DB. Okay, these are all the different databases, guys. Okay, but the point is we want to create our own database. The requirement is we are trying to build the database for HDFC Bank. Okay, now I would like to replicate the same. Okay. So my requirement is I wanted to create a database. Then I wanted to create 3 different schemas. Even if you look at these databases which are given by Snowflake, let me expand this. How many schemas are there? Information schema, 100 TCL, 110, 100, 1000. There are like close to 7 schemas, right, guys? Schemas, correct? What I told you. So database will have schemas. Schema will have objects. One of the object is table. Now let's see what are the objects that Snowflake has given. So there are 8 tables, guys. What are these tables? Customer, nation, orders. Anyways, these are all the sample tables given by Snowflake. So we are going to use these tables for our practice also. But the point is, I am trying to create a database with these schemas and I'll create some objects. Remember, guys, if you want to create any object in Snowflake, the command is create. Okay, so I would like to create a database. What is my database name? Let's say HDFCDB. If you want to execute a command, there is a play button here. Click on this. Can you see the message? Database successfully created. Okay. If you can do a refresh here, there is a refresh option. Can you see HDFCDB?
Yes.
By default, if you create a database, right, 2 schemas are automatically available, correct? Information schema and public. I'll tell you the importance of this information schema later. But so as per our requirement, I would like to create 3 different schemas. What are the schemas? Insurance, banking, and loans. So if I want to create a schema, the simple command create schema, let's say insurance schema. I'll take another 5 minutes, guys. I'll wind up. So there is a shortcut, guys. If you want to execute a command, the command is ctrl plus enter. Guys, last 10 minutes is very important. I'm going to give you like the information about the opportunities. Okay. Anyways, just stay with me for another like 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to create one more schema. Let's say loan schema. And the final schema is, let's say, banking schema. Banking schema. So do a refresh. So database will have schemas. Let me open banking schema. Do you see any objects, guys? No objects, right? There are no objects. Okay. So I have prepared one script, guys. Let me show you that. So I just prepared one script here. So I'm trying to create different tables: viewers, program, channel category. So let me use these tables. Okay, right. So can anyone tell me, guys, how many tables that I'm going to create? How many tables are there?
26.
26, right? Okay. See, even Snowflake is giving you some hint, right? So there are 26 tables are there, correct? These are all the different tables that I have created. Now, so if you observe, there is a component called query processing layer that is called virtual warehouse. What is the main purpose of the virtual warehouse, guys? Sorry.
To read and write.
To read and write, guys, right? See, so there is a component here. Can you see, guys, here? Use warehouse. Okay. Snowflake has given a warehouse called compute warehouse. Okay. Compute warehouse. What is the main purpose of the warehouse? To read and write. Okay. Now, so what I will do, I'll create my own warehouse. Okay. Create warehouse. Let's say HDFC underscore warehouse. Okay. Now the current warehouse is what? Let's do a refresh. It's HDFC warehouse. Okay. Now the main purpose of the warehouse is to read and write, guys, correct? Now, can you see the green color here? Which means the warehouse is available, okay? Warehouse is available. So I'm just doing some setting, guys. This is not at all required for you. Alter warehouse, HDFC underscore warehouse, set. Alter warehouse, HDFC warehouse, suspend. Sorry, guys. Now let's look at the status. What is the current status of your warehouse? It is suspended, right? It is not in green color. Okay, it is not in green color. Now, what I told you, if I want to write the data or if I want to read the data, I need a warehouse, correct? Now, let me write the data. Okay. So, what do you mean by write, guys? I'm trying to insert some data. Okay. So, let's say I'm inserting some data. I think let's take this table, channels table. Okay. So, we have different channels, Star Sports, ESPN. Okay. There are different channels here. Now, I am trying to insert the data. Okay. Now, which is nothing but writing, right? I'm writing the data. Okay. Can I do that?
Yes.
No. What is the main reason here? The warehouse is suspended. Okay. You cannot write the data in case if your warehouse is suspended, right? Now, what I will do, I'll start my warehouse. Guys, in the real time, you will not get a chance to do these operations. Okay. Just for your like understanding, I'm doing this step. Okay. So let me start the warehouse. What do you mean by start? I'm resuming the warehouse. So once you start the warehouse, look at the current status, guys. It turned to green color, right? Which means your warehouse is started. Now, can I write the data?
Yes.
Yes, correct. So it is not throwing any error. Okay, I can write the data. Now let me again suspend my warehouse. Again, I'm suspending my warehouse. Now this time, whatever the data that I have written, I wanted to read that. How to read the data, guys? Select statement, right? Select, right? Select star from this particular table. Guys, if you are new to SQL, don't worry. I'll share the videos with you. You can go through that. Let me run this. What it is saying is warehouse is suspended. So you cannot read the data. So what I will do, I'll start my warehouse. Okay. Let's start the warehouse. Now let's read the data. Yes, I am able to read the data. Okay. Whatever the data that I have inserted, I am able to read the data. Who is helping here? My warehouse is helping me to read and write. Okay. Right. Now tell me, guys.
Where this warehouse is created, sir? In S3 Glacier?
Yes, I just created the warehouse actually.
No,
Okay.
where it is created. This is a virtual warehouse. Where it is physically allocated? In the S3 Glacier of AWS?
No. See, this is a warehouse. See, data will store whatever the data that we have inserted, that will reside in the AWS. Okay. So this is like what to say, warehouse. This is not a object. This is not a database object. Remember. Okay.
So it's a
This is not a
virtual warehouse, right?
yeah. It's a virtual warehouse. This
So
will
where is the
not.
physical storage? What is the size
No,
of
no,
this warehouse?
there is no physical storage. I'll explain that. Okay. There are
Okay.
different things. Can you see extra small here? So there are different sizes actually, extra small, small, medium, large. I'll explain that. Okay. Just for the timing, I assume like, I mean, I mean to say like, this is your virtual warehouse. This is helping you to read and write. Now, if I ask you, what are the database objects that I have created, guys? So what are the objects that I have created today?
Only table.
We have created
Table.
databases. Right? Database is an object. Schema is an object. Okay. I have created a table, right? So if I want to know that, okay, so there is an option, select star from information schema. What is this information schema? Once you create a database, this exactly. So information schema will maintain the metadata. What do you mean by metadata? Okay. Metadata means if I want to know what are the objects that I have created, let's run this. See this, guys. See how Snowflake sample data, learning DB, HDFC DB. Okay. So these are the objects that you have access. So the point is information schema will maintain the information about the objects that you have created. Now, what about schemata? I wanted to know what are the schemas that are available: banking, insurance, loans, information schema. Okay. Now I wanted to know what are the different tables that I have created. Okay. So I can go with tables. Guys, I'm using a condition here. I'll tell you probably around 10th class, I guess, 10th or 11th session. I'll tell you what is the meaning of it. Okay. Just for the timing, just run this statement just to read the tables. We all know, right? We have 26 tables, correct? Yes or no? Can you see 26? We have 26 tables. Now let me insert a few more tables. Let me create few more tables. Okay. So let's say 26, right? 27, 28. Okay. I'll create these two tables. Okay. Let's create these two tables. Now tell me, what would be the count if I run this statement? How many rows I'm going to get? 28, right? 28, 28. I just created only two tables. Okay. Now, so the important point is, if you look at the Snowflake architecture, we all know database layer will be responsible for storing the data. Query processing layer will be responsible for reading and writing. And what is this cloud services layer? This is responsible for metadata. Which schema will store the metadata? Information schema. Okay. So this metadata with the cloud services layer is nothing but it will maintain the information about metadata. Okay. Now we'll try to answer a few questions, guys. Let me let me open that. Okay, so let me just open. Just give me a minute. Just a minute, guys. Let me open that file. So do you see anything called certifications over here? Oh, somewhere I have stored this. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Can you answer this question, guys? What is the first question? Snowflake is available on-premise. Is it true or false? It's false. It's false, right? It is not a on-premise. It is completely cloud. Okay. Right. Now, can you answer this question? What are the three key layers of Snowflake?
Database query and
Cloud services, right? We know on a high level, database layer will be responsible for storing the data. Query processing layer is to read and write. Cloud services is to maintain the metadata. Correct? Now, can you answer this question? Fifth question. Okay. Query processing in Snowflake is done by virtual warehouse, right? Okay. Your virtual warehouse will take care of the reading and writing, the query processing. Okay. Can you answer the sixth question? Which of the below services are provided by the cloud services layer? So when I say cloud services layer, there are different components, right? Metadata is there, security is there, infrastructure. Okay. But see this one, metadata, authentication, infrastructure. But is this correct? Query execution? Query execution is a part of virtual warehouse. Okay.
Actually,
Yeah. Okay. Guys, I'm just stopping the recording. I don't want this to be recorded. Let me stop the recording and I'll share the screen with you. This is very important. Just stay with me for another 5 minutes. I'll wind up. Okay. Let me just stop and reshare.